Farmer has a triangular plot length. Now one side of the plot, henceforth called as the base, is 300 feet long and the other two sides are equal. So it is an isosceles triangle with the base of 300, which is the unequal side, and the other two sides are equal. So let's look at this as a triangle. This turns out to be your base, which is 300 feet long, and the other two sides are equal sides. So let me name this triangle as ABC. So this is A, this is the point B, this is the point C, and you will realize that AB is equals to AC. The perpendicular distance from the corner of the plot where the two equal sides are meeting, that means perpendicular from the point A is what we are looking at, to the base is 200 feet. So if you drop a perpendicular, that's 200 feet. So this length is turning out to be 200 feet. This is a perpendicular. Now we need to understand this thing, that this is an isosceles triangle with AB being equals to AC, and from their common vertex you're dropping a perpendicular. Then that perpendicular actually becomes the perpendicular bisector of the side CB. Why it becomes a perpendicular bisector? Because the property of perpendicular bisector is that any point on the perpendicular bisector is at an equal distance from the two endpoints. So AC is equals to AB, and hence AD becomes the perpendicular bisector of the side CB. That means your value of DB turns out to be equals to 150. Now, to counter the adverse effect of the climate change, the farmer wants to dig a circular plot. He plans that half of the circular plot area will be inside the triangular plot and the other half will be outside, which he will purchase at the market rate from the neighbor. The diameter of the circular plot is entirely contained in the base, and the circumference of the pond touches the two equal sides of the triangle from inside. Now this is what the question is talking about, that you have a circular plot that he's planning to dig and make it as a pond, half of which lies outside the triangular plot, half of which lies inside the triangular plot. So this is the idea that they are talking about, and the circular pond touches the two equal sides from inside. So this is what they're talking about. Now if you join the point of contact with this particular point, the point D will actually turn out to be the center of the circle, because it has to be symmetrical. There is no other way out for this to move. So if I join the contact points with the point D, then D will turn out to be the center of the circle, and this will turn out to be the radius of the circle, right? So this length is what if I am able to figure out, I'll be able to figure out the area of the circle. Half of the area of the circle is outside this triangular plot. Now if the market rate is rupees 1400 per square feet that you are looking at, then what is the amount that the farmer will have to pay to buy that land? That's what the question is, right? Now if you look at the area of the triangle ADB, what will be the area of the triangle ADB? Half base into height. Base is, let's say, 150 and the height is 200. Now if this is the area, then you can also calculate the area of the triangle ADB by looking at AB as the base and DE as the perpendicular, as the height, right? So we need to find out the value of DE. What is the value of AB? Now understand, AB square will be equals to AD square plus DB square. If that is the case, AD square will be 40,000, and what will be DB square? 150 square. So that will be 22500. This if you add, it becomes 62500. That's the value of AB square. That means what is the value of AB? The value of AB will turn out to be 250. If the value of AB is 250, then that becomes the base. And again, the area of the triangle ADB can also be calculated by half, taking the base as AB, which is 250, and height as DE. DE is what we are supposed to calculate. So half will get cancelled out, a 0 gets knocked off, 25 into 6 is 150. It turns out to be, DE turns out to be equals to 120. That means the radius of the circle is 120 feet. Now half of this pond lies outside, which he needs to buy. So what is the area of the circle? Pi r square, pi into 120 into 120. Half of this lies outside the circle. So this is the area that he needs to purchase, at the rate of 150 rupees per square, 1400 rupees per square feet. So multiply this by 1400. This is the amount that he will have to pay. Now you can look at it, pi value is there, that can be 22 by 7. So if you replace your value of pi by 22 by 7, and you have a 120 into a 120 into 1400, and then you divide it by 2, this is what it is going to give you, 200 and 100 over here. So what we are trying to look at is 22 into 12 into 12 is 144 with a 00 and 100 over there. If you take the product of this, this will turn out to be 31680 with a 000. Option E will turn out to be the answer for this question.